whenever. Welcome back to Wendy's Digits Friday Night Live. I'm Carl. Vic is going to be here in a second. I'm not exactly sure where he is right now, but he'll be here in a second. Thanks everyone for tuning into the channel. If you haven't had a chance yet, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, get notified on future episodes. Also check us out on Spotify. So quite a bit happening today in the world of Chicago sports. Lonzo Ball looks like he's not going to be ready to go for the first game of the season, or for the start of the season anyway. Announced today, story broke from ESPN, and it looks like he's going to miss training camp. He's coming back to Chicago to get further about. Hey, Scopes, what's going on, brother? You're going to have to help me out for a little bit here since Vic is going to be a little bit delayed. So Scopes, I don't know if you saw that Lonzo Ball's hurt, continues to be hurt. Storm, what's going on, brother? I can always count on you guys when we do the live. So Crowley, Vic's going to be here in a second, but it's okay. I can carry the show. I'm all right. So we're going to start with Lonzo Ball and the Chicago Bulls. I'm going to pull up that story real quick. Going to be hurt. I know you guys have Jeffrey. Wow, we got a full house tonight. Everyone's here tonight. That's awesome. Let me pull up the story really quick that I found on Lonzo Ball. So I don't know what you guys think. I think this is more serious than what everyone was led on to believe with Lonzo. And I think that Crowley, yeah, I'm going to put that up there so Vic can see that when he comes in. So let's see. Let's go. Expecting to start in this season. Yeah, you know what? I was more optimistic. I saw some video of him just kind of running around and kind of moving around, and I thought maybe he might be ready to go. But it just looks like it's just not going to happen for some reason. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's scar tissue. I don't know if it's something even worse. That's the part that's really kind of concerning to me right now. With the Bulls taking a long, I'm not exactly sure what to make of it. I'm glad we got Dragic, but now it makes me wonder. I don't know. Maybe you almost have to think, is he even going to play again? That seems to be a little bit drastic, right? But this was supposed to be a 6-week injury, and we're going on 9 months now, right? Crowley, I think that's a great question, right? Yeah, I agree. I gotta wonder now, even if he does return, right? Is he going to be back to 100%? Is he going to be able to be the same player he was before? Look, the advantage he has is that he's a guard, and he's not like a forward or a center where he's got a lot of weight carrying. He's got to do a lot of bumping underneath. Look, Derrick Rose still had a pretty good career, right? So let's see here. Yeah, it's fair to ask. Storm, I think the same thing, right? Derrick Rose still had a good career even after that devastating knee injury, right? He had to change his game a little bit. Now, it's not like Lonzo was a high flyer, right? He wasn't. He still isn't, right? He's more of a distributor. He's more of a guy on the outside. He's more the guy who can play on defense. But now you got to wonder how much he can move on defense, how that lateral movement's going to be, right? Yes, folks, that's the thing. That's the thing that concerns me. Like, how consistent is this going to be? Like, how problematic is this going to be? So I guess the question now is how much does Io figure into this, and like a long-term solution into what the Bulls are going to have to do going forward? Does Io now do they shift him to maybe play a little more guard, or try to train him to play a little more point guard? What does this do for Dalen Terry? Dalen Terry supposedly was the distributor also in college. So does that mean we just kind of have to put him in that backup point guard role until Lonzo returns, right? So, um, and ladies and gentlemen, on cue, there he is. Everyone was saying that the ratings went up.
Oh, it's a whole 4.
Oh yeah. Well, we're live, by the way. So
That's great. How's everybody
so
doing?
good. We were just talking about Lonzo Ball. So Greg, we were just talking about this and that. I was just saying, now you got to kind of question if Lonzo's even going to play again.
Yeah, it could be a serious injury, man.
You know,
Where's Mr. Positivity? I thought you were still going to be on the boat that he's playing, Vic.
Thanks, Crowley. No, look, I mean,
He's
look,
funny, man.
the question
It's
does
hilarious.
the question does come up, like how much.
All right, I'm done.
Here we go. The ratings just went up, ladies and gentlemen.
Did he stay?
Crowley, I think, is still here. So,
Oh man, come on.
We got a full house tonight, so we're good. So, no, like Vic, seriously, like you got to wonder how the knee's got to be problematic. You would think going forward, right? Even if he comes back, you got to think that that could reoccur at any time, right?
Ben Simmons plays before Lonzo Ball. Yeah, I think he's got a serious possible career-ending kind of thing, man. Could be just like some of these other guys who've had chronic foot problems.
Yeah, Jeffrey, I don't want to live in that world either.
Oh, that is a war of words. St. Pat's, man.
What are you talking about? Oh, I see.
Skokes, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's now it's Storm and Skokes.
Yeah, St. Patty's and Don's, they don't match.
Here we go. All right, so before we move on to the next topic,
why are you moving on so fast, man? I just got here.
Well, I was asking, you walked away.
Were you ready for the Ben Simmons for Lonzo? No one's gonna do that.
I was saying that maybe now, where do you think Io comes into this now? Like, do you think now Io's got to be that backup point guard, or does that become like Dalen Terry?
No, Dragic is the point, and the starting guy, and Io is backup, and Dalen Terry is your guy to back up Io if Dragic gets hurt. That's my assessment.
If Dragic gets hurt, who starts, Io or AC?
Io.
Yeah, I think Terry can show some. I think Terry can show some potential. That's what he did at Arizona, right?
Yeah, he actually had, he showed. I mean, at least in the summer league, he had really good vision.
Yeah,
he had good vision on the court, better than anything.
So Storm, maybe now I guess the question is, do you go like what some of these other teams have? Like, do you have Zach or DeMar or even Patrick Williams initiate the offense? Having Patrick Williams play a point forward,
Are
right?
you talking to me or are you talking to the fans?
I'm talking to you and everybody else.
I'm sorry, I got a plumber texting me, man.
Vic has some pump problems, everyone. So
I had a flood. I literally had a flood in my basement.
Which is why you're not in your normal home studio.
That is correct.
So,
yeah, running the ball. I mean, they're probably going to run the ball through Vooch again.
But I mean, who sets up the offense? Like, in other words, like if you don't have
Vooch is going to be a point guard, man.
Point center.
Him and Andre Drummond. It's gonna, yeah.
I think the fumes from your sump pump are. So
yeah, Terry's not gonna. I don't see Terry playing a lot this year, personally.
Even with the Lonzo injury,
I still don't know.
Okay. If Lonzo doesn't go, who's that point guard we signed to the practice squad that we were like from the summer league? Do you remember that guy's name?
I do. He was good.
Do you think he gets escalated?
Yeah, I'll be looking him up, guy.
You want to remember that guy's name? Yeah, Jeffrey. I agree. Go back to the triangle offense.
Oh
Nobody has to worry
God,
about it.
no, don't do that. It's so boring.
Donovan is not start. Yeah, I don't think he's going to start. I'm just asking is how much is he going to play now, right?
Hey, what about Javon Freeman Liberty? He didn't
He's
play.
on the practice squad, right?
Oh, it's Carly. Wasn't it Carly
Carly
Jones?
Jones.
Carly Jones, I think, is a potential
Backup.
backup in NBA. I could see him. I mean, I think he could facilitate an offense based on what I saw. He kind of reminds me of your favorite guard that got signed by the Knicks and the Bulls didn't get him.
Who was that?
Brunson.
Oh yeah,
You,
Jalen Brunson.
you and your love for Brunson.
Well, glad they got Brunson because they lost out on Spider.
You know what I do love though is when you're wrong. And when you texted me Daniel Greenberg saying that Lonzo might not start, I was like, yes. It's like success.
That and Daz Newsome. Those are the two you're not going to let me live down.
That kind of cracks me up too.
Right. So, Skulk, let's see. You feel for Io Caruso point guard, Dragic is backup. So, Skulks, you're saying you'd start Io or Caruso and still leave Dragic as the backup. Would you do that, Vic?
I own Chris. Well, this is kind of, yeah, I might do it. I think it depends on how the offense. I mean, I think the coaches will know better, but that was one of the reasons I had suggested that maybe Patrick Williams goes on the second unit.
Okay, because he can be a dominant force off the bench.
Yes, like I do think there's some possibilities about. That's not a bad idea. I mean.
So who do you start? If Patrick Williams, who do you start?
I'm only relating that to this question. I'm just saying that maybe Dragic as a backup because he can score. Maybe that's a good idea to have him on the second unit because you've got three scorers on the floor in the first unit. But will Io and Caruso be able to facilitate enough? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think running it back one more year, being in the same offense, having the same group of guys, right? I think there's some advantage to that, right? Golden State is kind of proven if you have the same kind of core, you can just plug in pieces and be successful, right?
I think Storm's right on this. Cheers, Storm.
Chris 05, IL Canada share. Yeah, I'd be more inclined to start Dragic. But look, I guess you have the same problem then, right? Because if you don't think Caruso or Io can initiate the offense, then the second unit has the same problem.
Be score.
Yeah, the second unit has the same problem.
I know.
Right? Now, granted, it's not in the NBA. It's not where you're going to have full line changes like in hockey, where you're going to sub in 5 and sub 5 out.
Correct.
You'll have some variation in there, right?
Yeah, where like Billy D did a good job of that last year, I thought.
Yeah, I think he did a great job of spacing Levine and DeMar. Levine and DeMar. And spacing out their time and making sure one of them was on the court at all times, if not both of them, right?
I do like your orange glow again, by the way.
Thanks. I'm not feeling great today. I'm not feeling great today either. So, I didn't watch much of him in the European tournament that he was playing in. He seemed to be getting up and down the court really good on the offensive side, but I didn't see much of the defensive tape.
Yeah, he doesn't move his feet very well.
Well,
and you know what's scary about this with Lonzo, we kept on saying how having Lonzo and AC Fresh being up in the perimeter to help with that defense so that they weren't getting too you got something in the background there going, man?
What are you talking about?
You gonna bring something to the front?
No, I'm just kind of looking up the Score of the Sox game.
Oh, Sox.
Because what you're saying is so enthralling and
The Sox
engaging.
are the Sox are done, man. I need to just give up on them.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry. You were saying?
Wasn't important, man.
Look, again,
Rodgers doesn't move his feet very well, and we need some good perimeter defense. And we're oh, my daughter.
Abby, how you doing, Abby? Thanks for checking in.
Out in Iowa, U of I is in the house.
That would be Iowa, right?
Yeah, they go by U of I too.
So does Illinois.
I know. That's what I'm saying. She got on to say that and got off. Thanks a lot, Abby.
You're good, Abby.
All right. Hey, I know you were going to turn the channel here. What sport were you going to go to next?
No. Before you do that, I'm going to stop you now before you do that. Look, no matter who we get, it's not going to be good defensively as Lonzo Ball. Right? So, like, I get the point that he's not going to be able. You need to have a conversation with your daughter and fill her in what's going on at the house. So, with all the comments.
I told her I sent her a picture. The basement looks like garbage.
It's a good location for you. So,
it's a good call.
I was going to talk next about the Bears. You already talked Bears?
I'm promoting my daughter.
Okay. Are you ready to talk Bears tonight?
Yeah, that's where I was thinking you were changing the channel to the Bears channel.
Okay. So Ted Phillips announced today that he's going to retire at the end of the season. Is that good or bad?
Hey, it's a celebration. What do you mean is that good or bad? How's that?
I'm just asking.
All right. Okay. So that's you agree that's good.
I would liken it to like when Rocky Ward stepped down. Now, granted, he's not the owner, right? I mean, the McCaskies still own the team, but Phillips pulled a lot of the strings. And I guess the amazing thing is when he got interviewed today, he said that, look, the team hasn't been successful in the last 20 years. Well, no, really? He thought it was time for a different voice.
Storm. I'll throw Storm's name in there. Let's do a write-in candidate.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right. Storm, we're going to start what's this, man? You got some.
So it's the ad. Sorry. It's the USA
some
Today.
Girls with the headphones back there. Look at you.
Jump this up.
Look at you putting stuff on the screen, man. This is not your thing.
No, but you're not in your normal home studio, so you're all out of sorts. So I'm kind of stepping over. So, yeah, Skokes. I like this report, right? Braxton Jones thing his house all over the holiday weekend to train. Said he has to do all he can to keep Justin safe. I like Braxton Jones a lot. I think he's going to be a good, solid force in that. Did I lose Vic again?
No, sorry, man. I'm literally texting plumbers as you're talking.
So
it's supposed to rain tomorrow, dude. I don't want it to flood in my house more.
Yeah, Jeffrey, right. We're all kind of in the same mode, right? With Ted Phillips. I think this is a good move. I would liken it to like, again, when Bill Wirtz stepped down, the Blackhawks kind of took off from there.
They did, and now they screwed it all up with that whole scandal.
Correct.
Yeah, so they're amok again, and then I also heard a report possibly, and it was only from one place that Reinsdorf was thinking about selling the Sox. Did you see that?
Lord,
Did you see that?
I did.
So not only Reinsdorf, and Phillips. That's two awesome sets of news, I think.
Yeah,
I love it.
It would be a whole new sports day in Chicago if that were to happen.
Thank you, Storm.
If that were to happen, if Reinsdorf were to sell the team, don't be surprised if the Sox move.
That's what somebody said. I go, no, they're not. I don't see them moving.
They'll move to the suburbs. Don't be surprised.
Oh, well, to the suburbs. Not like the St. Petersburg again.
No, they'll move to the suburbs.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
What year was that, by the way? Do you guys remember when they were considering going to St. Petersburg?
Oh, it was like in the early 90s, I think.
I think so too. I think it was when Frank was just getting in there.
Um,
So I like his question. I saw a question about Arlington
this one.
Heights. Why don't you talk about that?
So the Bears are going to hold a public hearing at Hersey High School next week, and they're going to unveil their plans for the stadium and supposedly an entertainment district. Um, the answer to this, Storm, is yes. They're definitely going to build a practice facility next to the stadium because all the other teams in the city have done it. The Bulls have built, and the Hawks have a training facilities right next to the United Center. Um, it makes total sense to build a facility right there. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. They got tons of property. I mean, even when we did we did a podcast a while ago about this, and there was some reports about a minor league team coming there too, because of
Correct.
the amount of land there. I mean, they've got enough land for a stadium, parking. I'm not sure how much parking, but it's a lot more
Oh,
than Soldier
it will be a
Field.
ton. It will be a ton.
Yeah,
And anyone who knows Arlington Park knows that just a little bit, I want to say it's a little bit south of the track. There is a practice track for the horses where the stables are. And that would be probably an ideal location for a practice facility, right? Um, not right on the, not, I don't think right next to the stadium or anything like that, but that would be ideal. You can move all of it, I don't know if you would totally 100% at Hallis Hall, but it would make sense to move the practice facility there. Any, football operations would make sense to go there.
yeah. I think it's just going to attract players to your team, hopefully, along with some better GM.
I I don't know, Vic. What do you think? You're a better position to answer this than I am.
I can't see why they wouldn't increase. I mean, just think about living around Wrigley Field. I think people. I mean, I guess it depends on how close you live and how much it's going to impact. And really, the 355. If they don't do something to decrease some of the congestion that's going to come there, especially northbound off 355, where they've been talking about expanding the expressway there for 50 something years, maybe even longer. Um, I don't know. Some people may want to get out versus come in. I don't know,
Yeah,
but the
well,
property taxes maybe it'll help it depending on where because that income coming in will be good. I mean, like it's like Elk Grove. Elk Grove Village has so much industry there. Your property taxes go lower, so maybe it'll be like that.
with the property, I mean, your property value would probably go up immediately, right? You would think, right? Just as soon as that thing goes live, that your property value is going to go up.
Yeah, I would think so.
So,
Point
Storm,
four
you are
miles
close. You're not
away.
that far. Vic, how far are you from Arlington Park?
Honestly, 15 minutes off of 355.
Okay, I'm about 15 minutes too. Straight
And
up,
I kind of like that distance.
yeah, straight down Euclid. I'm in Glenview, so just straight down Euclid, I'm about 15 minutes too. So, um, would be an easy drive for me to get there, but I'd probably be taking the bus if we were going to a game. But the metro station's right there too, right? I mean, so people coming in from the city could easily take the metro out to the games, right?
It's true.
Um,
We're all parking at Storm's house. We'll give you like $20
Storm, go get a
each.
season package, parking at your
20
place, like a season package, like
Yeah,
for all the
20 bucks
home
for
games.
each person that rides in the car and parks over there, buddy, and you'll pay for your ticket.
Yeah. So
Hey, so my question is is it a presentation at Hersey?
yeah, it's what they called it, a town hall meeting, I think is what they called it.
So
It's actually being run by the Bears, not by Arlington Heights.
so is it open just to media?
It's open to anyone. It's an open town hall.
5,000 per season. It's open
Storm, I thought
town
we were
hall.
friends. Storm. Um, it's an open town hall, is what my understanding is from what I saw. I can look it up really quick.
I think so, man. Look that up. I'm also looking. I'm still trying to remember when the Sox almost moved to St. Petersburg. It's bugged me. So your Sox, while we're looking up stuff, um, I would be so disappointed with them. I wouldn't even. I wouldn't even watch them anymore.
Here's the amazing thing: if the Sox win tonight,
What are they
they
back to? What?
they will
What are
be
they back
3
to?
out, and they'll be tied
Man,
with Minnesota for second place.
that's just so sad.
Um, so there's something to the fact that Tony's been gone, and they've been playing better.
Miguel Cairo, man, he is an awesome motivational person.
He
I was kidding. He doesn't sound like it. I heard him be interviewed the other day. He sounds so dry and boring. I was like, oh my god.
Storm, is that the friends and family discount that you're giving us? The 4,999. Appreciate that. So
That's not bad, man.
yeah, the town hall is an open meeting for everybody.
In 1988 was when the Sox were actually considering. 88, 89. Isn't that crazy?
I thought it was like early 90s, late 80s, but yeah.
No,
Can you imagine? They would have become in theory the Tampa Bay Rays.
Is that what it would have been? Because yep, no, you're right. They would have been. Yeah, Tampa Bay. Yep.
Tampa Bay would not have gotten or what it was like. What was the Montreal Expos that ended up moving there?
Well, they were going to call them the Florida White Sox, by the way, but yes, they were the Tampa Bay Devil Rays is what.
Yeah, Jeffrey, I didn't agree with the idea to start Joe Kelly tonight. I don't know why they started Joe Kelly. They should have started Davis Martin, who came in the second inning anyway. So I'm not exactly sure why they started Joe Kelly tonight. And I don't know if it's just something not right with Joe Kelly. He's been a West Coast guy most of his career. I don't know if this climate or whatever is just not working for him. I don't know. Have you ever seen the videos of Joe Kelly's place on YouTube?
No.
Oh, you should take a look at these videos. Look it up. Like he's got a phenomenal like mansion house in LA. Like no wonder he pitched well in LA. If you had to go home to that place every night, you were going to be just fine. I can't imagine he's got a place like that here. So, yeah. So the Sox are still in it. You know, right now it's 2-2 with Minnesota at the end of 5. So and Cleveland's getting crushed by Seattle.
Crowley's right too. Baltimore, if they were in there, they would be in first place.
Anyone in the East would be in first place.
Hey, can I just ask a random question that I tweeted out? I'm just curious, like if you were to pick one athlete, well, let's say athlete or coach, it could be one of each. Who would you consider the Darth Vader of professional sports? And it could be a current player or it could be a past player. Because I was it was interesting how some people were responding. Because just
did you pose this question on Twitter?
I did it like a couple hours ago. I got about like 20 to 30 responses.
That's a good one, Jeffrey.
That's pretty well. Yeah, he was a jerk. He choked Carlissimo.
For basketball, I'd almost go with Xavier McDaniel.
Okay, he's another good one.
For basketball.
I couldn't stand him on the Knicks either. I didn't like Bill Laimbeer ever.
Oh, Bill Laimbeer, that's I think that's more higher on the list than Xavier McDaniel.
I didn't really care for Isaiah Thomas either. I mean, don't you think most teams, like when you talk about a Darth Vader, are you talking about a Darth Vader that because the guy keeps on beating you, or because his personality is just like evil? Because that's how people view Tom Brady. Richie.
You think so?
Well, besides the deflate gate or whatever, yes.
Incognito's a good one too.
I do. I think.
But there's a ton of people that still love Tom Brady.
I know, but my point is, some people view an evil player not necessarily evil in the terms of like behavior, but more along as like a nemesis of a team. It's kind of literally. I think the Bulls would say that about some of the, when there was DeJordan years and they weren't winning.
They'd be like some of those like Laimbeer.
Yeah, Mahorn,
Thomas,
Rodman. I mean, who who in Chicago sports liked Rodman until he got to the Bulls? I loved Rodman when he was on the Bulls, man.
Yeah, once he's one of those guys you don't want to play against him. You want him on your team.
No, I couldn't stand him.
I'm trying to
How
think.
about you guys? What about you? Okay, what about most hated player in Chicago sports?
Most hated player in Chicago sports?
Yeah, in our Chicago sports time, man. Like, think about the last 30 years. Who do you think we hated the most?
Like an actual Chicago player?
Yes, Chicago player.
Gosh, I don't know. Chicago has a tendency to fall in love with their players on their teams until they get
Crowley
traded
is
away.
right about AJ.
I loved AJ.
I'm thinking about boy, you know, it stinks getting old. Yeah, I agree, Crowley. Yeah. Now, see, we talked about AJ. We think he would be a good coach.
I think he'd be a great manager.
I think so too. Draymond Green.
I love Draymond Green. I'm a Warriors fan, so I love. I have a thing for the Warriors, so I love Draymond Green and Steph and Clay.
I think Draymond's obnoxious. Meritage?
Three cola.
Cola.
Yeah.
I don't know. Three cola was pretty sweet, man.
I'm trying to think. Who is some of the other Knicks players also? Who was one of the Anthony Mason?
Yeah, Jason Starks.
Yeah, and then he ended up playing for the Bulls for a year.
I always liked Oakley, though. I mean, I liked Oakley because he was
I liked Oakley, right? But Anthony Mason, he was a thug.
He was a thug. Why am I blanking on the Cubs shortstop that he was with us for the World Series? What is wrong with me?
Addison Russell.
Addison Russell, yeah. You know, people hated him. I mean, you talk about anybody with domestic violence, he was one of them.
Yeah.
Some people brought up on the poll Kobe Bryant.
Oh, that's a good one too, Storm.
I liked Antonio Davis again when he was on the Bulls.
Okay, what about a player that you just wanted to hate but you couldn't?
But you couldn't.
Like to me, that's Reggie Miller.
I don't. Yeah. Well, I could. Yeah.
Like because he always played well against us, but
you know,
like, I loved his game.
You loved how he flopped. I can't stand guys
dude. That's total. That was total showmanship and gamesmanship.
That's not showmanship. That's
Ray Lewis is a good one, right? Jeter, really, Crowley?
Really?
I was okay with Jeter, the captain.
I didn't mind Jeter either. Now A-Rod, he was cocky. I didn't like
A-Rod. Yeah, A-Rod. I didn't care for. I still don't care for A-Rod today. Right.
Aroldis Chapman. I mean, the Cubs grabbed him shortly after. I think a year after he got arrested, or maybe I don't know if he got arrested.
Busted for something.
He was reported for domestic abuse too. Cubs fans have hated their relievers in the past. They used to boo Lee Smith.
Yeah.
Lee Smith was an amazing reliever, but they used to boo him because he, at some points he couldn't keep the league.
I want Skokes on this one. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. I cannot stand Aaron Rodgers. That guy's so freaking arrogant.
He is cocky, and I hate that stupid
belt.
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
I hope he gets crushed this year with that receiving core that he's got. So,
all right, here I'm going to give you one name of a guy, and it's not an athlete. Okay, it's a coach in Chicago sports that I could not stand. Who do you think it is?
A coach in Chicago sports.
It would be a perfect QB for Chicago, actually. Rodgers.
Baseball?
No, basketball.
Oh,
Oh,
who was the coach we just got rid of?
Boylan, man.
Boylan.
Oh, I couldn't stand him. I don't know. I don't know why, but I could see how irritating he would be.
Because he kept playing your favorite
for the
player of
team.
all time. He kept putting your favorite player out on the court all the time.
What are you talking
Cristiano.
about? Oh God. Feliciano.
He kept putting him out. Oh, okay. Vinny Del Negro also. I didn't care for him as a coach either.
I don't think he was a bad guy either, though.
No, but I didn't care for
He
him as a
didn't.
coach.
Yeah, no, he didn't annoy me as much. See, Hoiberg, I thought was a nice guy.
Tim Floyd, I didn't care for either.
Tim Floyd was annoying. Kind of reminds me of, help me out again, guys, Seahawks head coach.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, he annoys me. Pete Carroll with his, all he's doing is chomping on his gum all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, look, Hoiberg's a good guy. Tim Floyd, I couldn't stand. That guy could not stand. So, I'm trying to think if there's any other, like, and you brought it up. Who I think it was Skokes that brought it up, and I'll put it up again. Aaron Rodgers is the guy I can't stand at all. Everyone else on the Green Bay team, like, it seems to be okay, but that guy is just cocky and arrogant. And
it's hard. I mean, it's hard when the QB is good and he's the voice of the team.
Okay.
I mean, you don't know all those other guys like he is, you know. And there might be some more cocky guys in the Green Bay Packers. That's all I'm saying.
It's not, but it's not just the on-field stuff. It's the off-field stuff, like just the way he carries himself off the field.
How about Scottie Pippen? What do fans think of Scottie Pippen these days?
I don't mind Scotty.
You what?
I don't mind Scotty.
You don't mind?
I don't
Scotty.
mind him. Yeah, I don't mind it.
You're
I don't mind
cut
what
out a
like.
little bit.
I don't mind the stuff that he brings up. You know, I think he's just in a point now where he's kind of out of Michael's shadow and is able to just kind of speak his mind and say what he wants to say, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, I'm not.
Right? Yeah. See, right. Rodgers' family doesn't even want to talk to him.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
So
I don't know. I think if you're a teammate of the Pippins,
for Pippen,
are you toast now, buddy?
Well, I'm toast, and you got a plumber to go take care of.
He's coming in the morning. Yeah.
But I do want to bring up one last thing that I did post the other day.
Scotty was top 50 NBA player, man. He got his due.
Let me bring up this one thing. I posted this poll the other day on our Twitter.
I liked it. It was a good poll. Nice job.
Thanks. So I posed the question. I was kind of surprised we got this many votes, right? Do you like the way Ryan Poles is building the Chicago Bears roster? Overwhelmingly, 91% voted yes. They like the way the team is being put together. Only 9% said no, and that was out of 146 votes, which is a pretty good number, I think. Don't you think?
No, it is. Yeah. I don't usually do polls anymore, so I just ask questions.
I'm kind of
curious. You got some good responses off it.
Someone commented here about didn't like how they handled the Roquan situation. Could have inked up the new contract and won the locker room. I don't think they lost the locker room. Do you? Like, I don't see any backlash.
I was worried about it, but they have not lost the locker room.
I don't think there's any backlash from that, right?
No.
Do you?
None. No,
Okay.
not at all. But I was concerned.
It's a new defense. They all know it's business. Main goal is the achievement. First year, Roquan balls out, he'll get paid. He's getting $17 million this year, so it's not like, you know, if he balls out and he plays well, he'll get his $20 million next year. Don't you think?
Is that actually how much he's making? Is that accurate?
I think that's the last year in his contract. Yeah, I think that's right. So,
contract details.
So, and then one person said they want to see what hold out until we see year 3. So, do you like the fact that Ryan Poles said he's going to go to 3 college football games this weekend?
You're cutting it out unless it's my Wi-Fi, buddy. What'd you say?
Did you like the fact that Ryan Poles said he was going to go to 3 college football games this weekend?
I think that's fantastic.
What does that tell you? What does that say to you about Ryan Poles? Does that did not mean anything?
It means he's going to continue to look at talent and be ready for the next draft already. I mean, he's starting early. That's exactly what we need. And it does tell you that he probably wants to build from the draft more than he wants to find free agents. In fact, you know what was interesting? Looking at the pickups they did, there some people are calling it draft 1, and then the waiving signings was draft 2.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
just to clarify, Roquan Smith's his salary for this year is $9.735 million. Okay. His total amount was $18.5 million for 4 years. So whoever put that in there
was incorrect.
Inaccurate. Yeah.
So he's looking for a doubling of payday, which is fine, right?
Yes.
I think he'll be worth it. He's in the top 100. So,
yep.
So okay. So what did you think about the pickups that he made in this? Because we didn't talk about that. What did you think about the second round of pickups that he made?
I thought we did talk about it. Well, I thought I Leathergood. We did. We talked about it. It's it's kind of like taking a try at N'Keal Harry. A first round pick was probably supposed to go second round, but getting a second round pick from just a year ago or 2 years ago, who just
last year,
who just had one bad year. I mean, that could be anybody.
Yeah.
That could be anybody. So, I mean, like to get a talent like that off the waiver wire, I thought that was awesome. I don't really know a whole lot more. I mean, we looked at those picks. Some of them were only a year or 2 years out of college. A couple of them had some good seasons. I mean, there was a defensive tackle. I don't remember who he was. I'd have to pull it up again. But he had 5 sacks. Was top 5 on the team in tackles. So, I mean, they need depth, and that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah. Well, and they picked up a wide receiver I think it was yesterday. They picked up another wide receiver yesterday. Again, I think it was either an undrafted or a guy that just didn't stick with the team.
Well, what about Wesco? The tight end was that was a good pick.
Yeah, and he's on the 53-man roster now. So I think that was a good pickup too. But I'm like Skokes. I want to get to week 1. I want to see what's going on. Thankfully, we only have 8 days left to go. Seasonal kickoff on
Bring
Thursday.
It, buddy. So. Leatherwood. Is it Leatherwood?
Yeah. Guard, 17 overall from 21. Sterling Weatherford. Yeah, Weatherford's the guy I think Weatherford's the guy that can easily be in the starting lineup pretty quickly. He was pretty impressive, I think. So that would be a good sign. So
yeah.
Are you got anything else for tonight, big guy?
I'm looking forward to a fantasy football draft this coming Monday.
Yep.
And I'm thinking once again, anybody thinking they would take any Bears in the first 5 rounds? Would you take any Bears player in the first 5 rounds?
I'd take Komet.
I might take Komet too, depending on your draft process. Like if people are picking up receivers and running backs, and there isn't somebody that's going to be better, I might pick Komet.
Montgomery, I think, is also.
Yeah, go ahead.
Montgomery, I agree with some. Montgomery would be a good one, also in the top 5. I think Mooney is someone you could take in the top 5, depending on who else you have at the wide receiver spot.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, Mooney, I would take in a later round.
I think Komet's a sleeper.
I think Montgomery would be a good pick. The other one I would take probably, it wouldn't be top 5 though. But I would be looking at possibly the special teams defense for the Bears. I think they might, with the way they with the the speed that they have and the intensity that they've shown, like I think they might surprise people with picks and turnovers.
Do you think because they play the weakest schedule in the league that would
12.
probably boost up their defensive numbers a little bit?
Well, I mean, hypothetically, it's the worst record based off of last year's.
Okay.
I don't know. It should, right? It should, but
You would
who
think,
knows?
right?
I mean, yeah, but everybody thinks the Bears are going to be at the bottom of the pile too. So I mean, I don't know how much that strength of schedule purely weighs.
I think the second week matchup against Green Bay is going to be really interesting with a new defensive coordinator, with a whole different scheme, going to a 4-3 from a 3-4, and Aaron Rodgers not having his usual cast of characters at wide receiver or any receivers at all. It'll be interesting to see how that game plays out.
Well, I would think we have a little bit of something in our pocket with Getsy there too. He probably knows Aaron Rodgers' tendencies a little bit too.
Correct.
Maybe he knows some like gives, kind of like, are there gives? Like in because I didn't play football. I played baseball, and you could sometimes know when a pitcher was going to throw a curveball or a slider.
Like they tip you off the pitch. They tip off the pitch.
Yeah. Right? So like, is there a similar thing with quarterbacks where they tip people off other than the eyes?
Yeah, there's tendencies. So in other words, like if you see the defense in a certain lineup, like you have one safety high or two safeties high, you have man coverage up, you kind of know what their tendencies are, and you kind of know who they're going to cover and know who to attack, right?
Yeah, so maybe even having Getsy there, it gives the Bears a slight advantage.
Yeah, I would think so, especially in those short routes, right? You know how like they runs those little dinky routes or those little screens.
Yeah, but that's at Green Bay, that first game, right?
It's at Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't think we're winning that game. I still think we could beat them at Soldier Field. So I don't know. We'll see. And we might change our tune after we see them pounce on the 49ers.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see.
Bears 85, 49ers 3. No.
You sound like Saturday Night Live guys.
I still say 17. I think, no, 21-17.
I said 31-17 is what I said. So, all right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. It's been a wild and crazy episode here tonight on Friday night. I'm not feeling great. Vic's got issues with the sump pump, but we got through it. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Usual cast of characters. If you have any chance yet, hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell, get notified on future episodes. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next episode. Peace.
Love.
And digits.